everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. We are continuing on Sale-a-bration. So if you've been watching over my channel the last few days, you know I've been doing a series on Sale-a-bration, and I'm going to get to everything in this catalog. But here in the middle here, I'm still going to do Sale-a-bration. There's going to be one day where there won't be any Sale-a-bration. At least I don't think so. I haven't done the projects yet, but there will be one day where I show you a preview of what the February card club is. And then like today, I'm going to show you a little bit of something upcoming for February. And then I'm going to show you coming up in a couple of days, my next February online classes. And those will be probably posted in an email before the video goes up, just because I have so many things to show you, because it's the start of a new month and because I'm trying to get this series in here. But I'm trying to get Sale-a-bration in with all of it, except for the card club. I don't know, that probably won't have a Sale-a-bration thing. So if you see card club, don't think, oh, the series is done, because I am going to get everything in it. And like today's, to make it work, I had to reuse something. So today I'm going to show you, and don't look at this because that's not what we're using. I'm in the middle of filming the end of this class as well. So if you're in the Horizons and Grassy Grove class, it's packaged up. I have to get the embellishments finished, but it's almost ready to go. And the videos are almost filmed. Not edited yet, but they are almost filmed. And I have all of that stuff laying right here. So this is kind of squished on my table. But if you saw this video, the Friendly Hello bundle, the card's laying right here. Maybe. This video, I'm going to use the paper today again because I wanted to use what I'm going to show you because it goes in with February, and this is the best way to make it work. There were some other options that I toyed around with, but I really wanted to use this stamp set that's not in the Sale-a-bration, so I just made it work with this, because sometimes you can make stuff work, and it's sometimes because what you have, like, you make it work with what you have. And in this case, I have a lot of stuff, but because I was looking at this, pretending like this is what I had, you make it work. And it ended up being super cute, and it worked perfectly. So I'm going to use the Friendly Hello paper, not using the stamp set. So just because you have the whole thing doesn't mean you have to use it together. I'm not using On the Horizons. I am going to use, I'm not going to even show you. It's out of the mini catalog. I don't have to show you the page. It's laying right here. I'm going to use the Brave Vikings. It's adorable. This stamp set is so cute. And it can be a Valentine. It can be just if you like somebody that likes puns, or it can be a birthday. I'm going to use the one that says, I've taken a Viking to you. So, I mean, obviously that is a really cute little punny Valentine if you choose it to be. But anybody, especially if you have a Viking fan in your family, big football weekend coming up, no Vikings in it, but it could be for that. If you have kids that like any of the cartoons where they have, like, she could easily be brave, color her hair red. You can make it work with a lot of different things. Super cute little set. It also has a happy birthday, you've conquered another year, which is just a fun, even for anybody old in your life. You could give, and I'm old, so I can say that. You can give that to them. So I'm going to use the Brave Vikings, and I'm going to make it work. But really what I wanted to use, because starting February 1st, you can get these. And there is a stamp set that goes with it. I'll show you the stamp set. Oh. One of mine just flew across my studio, so hang on. So these are our new blends. So they are skin tones. I like them. One, because there's about every skin tone in my family, because we have all these tones. It also, if you take out kind of these two, it's kind of my skin tones. Well, and maybe I never am quite this white because we're almost in the depths of winter. I feel like this is the shades of my summer. So they're kind of skin toned because we haven't had those, and we haven't had very many browns. So there is a chart, and I will show you that chart later, on how you can make it be skin tones. The stamp set that goes with this is also, it's hands. So you can make them in all the shades. And I love this because, like, if I was going to do this stamp set today, like my nephews, I need this more. Some of my nieces, I need this more. Some of my nieces, I need this more. So anytime that I have colored any of our people in the Stampin' Up! Things, depending on who I'm giving it to, I've had some issues sometimes because we've had the ivory and the bronze, but it's been kind of tricky. Now you can get it to be whatever. So there is a chart where you can kind of mix and match, and I will show you that chart later on in February. later on in February, if you purchase these from me, I will be having a free tutorial on how to use them, and I will email you the chart. So if you buy these from me, there will be a free video tutorial. So I wanted you to know that before February starts. Plus, if you buy these in February as the whole set, then you'll get a celebration thing, because I think they're around $60. You can buy them in sets of 2. There's 5 sets. So there's the 5 different sets like that. They're not light and dark. They come in numbers. So this is not the chart that does the mixing, but they go from 100 to 1,000 to 100, 200, 300. So I just drew them like this, so I would be able to see what the colors kind of were when I made this card for today. So you can see they go from light to the darkest, but not, I mean, there's kind of like some, this one's on the pink side, this one's kind of on the camel, the tan, and then all the way to the brown. This one's kind of a caramel color. So it's a range of skin tones through to brown. So when you mix and match, you can get all kinds of different tones. So for this first card today, I just wanted to use one where in the past when I went to color this card, I would have been like, oh, we don't have very many browns, because we had, you know, suede and espresso. And the suede is kind of, it's got that baby poop color to it, like in the blends. And then we have crumb cake that's kind of a very, very light tan. I wouldn't call it a brown, it's crumb cake. You know, so it was Stamp It Up doesn't have a heavy selection of ink colors and browns, because you don't need that many ink colors or browns. But when you go to color, you need a large array of browns. So that's how I did today's card. And I'm going to show you just a real quick way on when you first get them. I'm not going to do a whole lot of blending. I just want you to see the different colors. And then if you buy this whole set from me, then we'll do a whole video on how to blend them and different ways to blend them and different ways to get different colors from what you get. And then also blending in, bringing in some of the ivories, the petal pinks, the color lifter, and kind of working with them from there. So that class will be upcoming. It will be at the end of February, and that way you'll have the whole month to purchase these and get them and have them ready. I may even do a Zoom after the class so you can ask questions if you buy them from me. So there's that. So I also had camp today. I have camp downstairs. I have a class ready that I'm filming. I have all these things to film. So my stuff's kind of scattered. So hopefully I have everything here. But my scrap paper, I'm not sure where it is. So this was from Club. When I filmed Club, and it was in the trash and it wasn't very dirty. So we're going to go with that. So I'm going to put this here. This is how I did it before. And there's no dies for this set, which we did. This was a camp card. And you know, anytime at camp when you use something that doesn't have a die these days, it's like, oh, we have to hand cut this out, which is funny because my daughter had a workshop. I think that may have even said that earlier in a video this week. So my daughter's a demonstrator and she had a workshop, and obviously her friends are way younger than my friends, except some of her friends are my friends. But the guests at her workshop were younger than my clientele tends to be. And you know, they have not been stamping for nearly as long as most of my people that come to camps have been. So they had stamped a couple of things, and some of them first night, like first time ever to even hold a stamp. So they had made some stuff, used the die cut machine, all did a super great job. They were all very talented. And then they did the otters. Yes, the otters, which I have not done yet, which are in the Sale-a-bration catalog. And then they wanted to know where the little thing was to cut those out. To cut one otter out. And I was there and I said, there isn't one. You have to use scissors. And they were like, what? And I thought, oh, mercy. We used to have to cut everything out. And at least at this stage, most of my people know to ask, you know, is there a die for this? But they just assumed everything had a die. So let's start with the little ship here. So what I did, let's start with the very darkest. So the very darkest is 100. So this is the 100, and there's not going to be any blending on this one, on the darkest. I just want you to see how nice and deep brown it is. It's lovely. I love browns, greens, oranges, like the fall, autumn colors. You know, back in the day, if you did the what was it? You know, the colors, the season things to figure out what color you were supposed to wear. Mine was autumn. Of course, my brown turns to blonde hair in the summer, and my olive turns to brown skin. It was kind of obvious, I think. My mom has not brown skin. Hers is pretty pale and black hair, so hers was different. I remember doing those little things. So I'm going to do this first stamp here. This is the darkest brown. So this was why I was really happy to have these for this little stamp set, and I hadn't used it yet. So then I'm going to skip one, and I'm going to go down and do this one. I'm going to do all of the coloring first with the new blends, and then we're going to add in the other colors that I didn't use of the new. Just so you can kind of see, oops, and you know, of course I would do that because I'm talking and it's not over the top of my head, and I have my glasses on. This is not how I do. When you film, it doesn't tend to be any of the same circumstances as when you don't film. Okay, and now I'm going to take the 200, which is the next lightest, and I'm just going to do this next like plank of wood here. So it'll be a little bit lighter. And then when I take the up close pictures and put them over on my website, I mean, you'll get to see a little bit here, but you can go over there and kind of see the different shades of brown that you get, or just the different shades. See, I color much better than that. Like, I wouldn't color into the circle if I would have this at the angle. So we have that plank, and then we'll get this one down here. Okay, and then that's the 200, and you can see as they dry, they get lighter. That's already darker than that. Let's go to the 300. And for that, I'm going to do these little circle things. I'm sure there's a name for them. Are they maybe they're like where the cannons go? I don't know what they are. But even though I didn't color those great, because the colors are similar enough, they'll camouflage where I kind of missed my circle. And I'm just using the bullet tips. I don't think I'll use the brush tips for any of this. And then I'm going to go for the 400. And for this, I'm gonna get this little mast thing here, and then the paddles. So it didn't take any blending, and the point for this wasn't really to blend. It was just so you could see the different colors. So when you get this set, because that's 10 shades of brown, but this is a fun way to just kind of see the colors. So now let's go over to our little girl and our little guy Viking. And obviously, when you start with some Swedish characters, or, you know, some Norwegians, or where up there they're from, like where we're going to be taking the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip to in a couple of years, up in the Baltic area, you really need to go with the light colors, right? Right? So I'm going to do her, my little girl. I'm going to start in the lightest. So I'm going to do 1,900. And these I am going to blend a little bit. So I'm going to start with the 900. Because that's the nope, wrong. I'm going to start with this pinky flush, because I don't want her to be super pink. So I'm just going to kind of put it on her cheeks, and then just a little bit of highlight. And then I'm going to go to the 900, which is much more of just the general flush tone. But if you put too much, it can tend to the pink. For this, you could use the brush tip and just kind of get it on there real quick. But I want you to be able to see it, so we'll just add this. And then for him, I'm going to do the 900 and the 800, just so he looks a little bit different. And he doesn't have a whole lot of, he's got such a big beard. And this hand's all the way covered up. So just add a tiny bit of that, and then go to the 800. So when we do the class, I will use larger stamps. We have a lot of the new girls. We have the stamp set that it comes with. And then we just have, when you get blends, there's no reason that you can't just practice. You don't have to color a thing. You can just practice blending. Okay, now for her clothes, let's go here, 300 and 400. So let's pull. It's the same. I keep trying to put them back. Nope, I went to the wrong end. The 3 and the 400. So I'm going to do the 300 a little darker than the 4. They're kind of different shades, see? They're not even kind of the same shade. But I'm going to put this here around the edge. And let this kind of just be where we shade. And then let's do, that's the 3. Let's do the 4. Get that blended in here. And this looks like I've already chosen different colors than what I did on my original card. It doesn't matter because, you know, they just have on clothes. And who knows, Vikings could have had on, maybe they wore colorful clothes. If I'd been doing a different kind of card, I may have looked up online because sometimes I like to look and see, you know, like when I did the tombstone houses, how I pulled out the original photo from when we were at the beach with the little beach houses. So if you have this stamp set and you're just coloring them for real, you could pull up some pictures of Vikings and kind of see what they wore. This looks more like what I did on him, so I probably started with him. So that means for him, let's do 500 and 600, which I think is what I think I must have started with him before. So let's do his vest with 500 and 600, and let's do the 500 as the highlight, the shadow color. Just kind of around. But it doesn't, I mean, we're just doing it. It's still gonna be a super cute card, but it's more for kind of the practice. Got those. And then for their feet, I did, because they have like those moleskin kind of shoes. So let's do these two colors here, which are 7 and 8. So for these, I did do the brush tips. I just kind of brush tipped that in, which this really has kind of a pink tone to it. This is the 7, I think. Yeah. It has a real tan tone to it, but the more you put, the pinker it gets. And I did their shoes both the same. And when you do the brush tip, you can go faster. And then take another color, which on this one is the 800. And I'm just gonna add a couple of the stripes. And those are such similar colors that it's really even hard to tell that I've done it. Then let's get the 900. And we're just kind of doing process of elimination. You get his pants so they're a shade lighter. And then let's take this 300, which is kind of a tan. See, this looks more like our suede now. Add that, and then we'll come over here and do some of his shirt. And then I'm gonna get a light color. So let's get 700. So we had the dark and the lighter. And then when you mix those, you can see it gets lighter, which is kind of what you do on a little skin tone chart. I'll do the same thing over here. Blend that around. Give their shoes one more little bit of a highlight because those two colors were pretty similar. Then let's get her hat maybe in what, I think I did them down here. So let's get like a 200. Let's try a 400. I'm just gonna give it a brush tip. So it stays kind of light. And then I'm gonna get his little shield over here. Okay, that looks like we have, I think we have just about everything that is a brown. Get her stick, her wood stick for her spear. Okay, so now we can go ahead and we'll color in the rest of it. Now here is the piece of paper. This is, remember, the friendly hello. This doesn't look like it goes with it at all, but I really liked the way that this matched the dots. See, he has the dots on his helmet. She has the dots on her helmet. I know it's supposed to be silver and I know it's like metal hammer, but this is a card, right? And then we have the little circles that are on our little cannons down here. So that was kind of where I got my color inspiration from. So let's do her hair in So Saffron, but I want it to be light. So again, if you want light color, just kind of pull it in quick with the brush tip. That way we can give it the illusion of yellow without making her have yellow hair. That's what they need to do next, right? Is some hair colors. I guess we have gray. I started to say going gray. That used to be a color. I don't think it's a color anymore. Now here is Pool Party, which is in the paper. And it's going to be my water. Remember, I'm going to cut those out so I can just do that like that. And then we have the colors of the paper. So I pulled out papaya, pear, and heather, or freesia, sorry. So let's do, I did these with, there's odd numbers. So let's do 1, 2 up here. And just color the little flag in. Again, if you're doing it for real and not matching papers, I don't know what Viking colors are. Maybe some of you know what kind of Viking colors are. Purple and gold, if you follow the Vikings. But just add a few hints of color. Again, we're gonna let those new blends really be the star of the show. And then here, I took, you can see from camp, and I colored one of the large ones of the classic matte dots with the pear. And just do these. And then let's get that one. And then we have papaya. Now we have his beard and anything that's kind of silver. So let's get her sword. And then, so this is dark smoky slate. Then let's get light smoky slate. And I'm just gonna kind of wisp into his, I love his little beard. When you color him or when you go look at the up close pictures, he has it like in little braids down here. It's perfect. So I'm just kind of highlighting his, where they've got it highlighted on there. And now I've got light gray granite. Let's kind of shade his knife in. I'm going to add just a little bit of that so his beard's not all the same color, because he has a lot of beard. And just a real quick. And then I'm just gonna, here, I'll do it in the light smoky slate. Take your brush tip and just wisp that in there. Now we're gonna take our color lifter. Just so this has some highlight, so it's not just white. Just gonna rub that in his little horns up there. Okay, so that's all the coloring that we need to do. I'm going to show you why I have the scrap paper, because when you color with blends, you need to have scrap paper. It didn't get, that would have gotten on my table. It really didn't soak through that much, but it does do a pretty good job on the back. Now remember, this doesn't have dies, as we've already established. So I'm going to hand cut these out and I'll be back. Okay, so I've cut these out. As I was cutting, I realized I forgot to color. She has a little bit of ribbons in her hair, and so I just did the purple. And part of the reason I did the freesia is because it shows up the best. So sometimes it's not so much about the color that you choose, about as much as the color that will look the best. And then I did add a little bit of Pool Party to her eyes. Her eyes are open. His eyes are not, so you don't have to add any color to his eyes. So those two are finished now. So then for the card itself, I have Pool Party back for the base of the card. Fold this over just a half sheet of Pool Party. Then we have the half a sheet of this, then the half a sheet of freesia. And I am going to do, well, I've taken a Viking to You on my other card, so let's switch this one up to be the other one. So we'll just stamp this down here at the bottom. Happy birthday, you've conquered another year. And then I'm going to take, like I said, I've had camp today, so my big ones are downstairs, but that's okay. And I do have more than one. So I'm going to use my mini cut and emboss, because I'm going to use the little water folder, and it will fit in here. So I'm going to do both at one time, because you can emboss more than one piece of paper at a time. When I do my big classes, like when we do Try It and stuff, sometimes you can get 4 pieces of designer series paper in. So just put it in and roll. Probably can't get 4 in the mini. In the big machine, you can't easy. Not so much cardstock, but definitely designer series paper, but definitely 2 or 3 pieces of cardstock. I don't use the mini when I'm cutting a big class, that's for sure. So got that. See, now it just has that fun water pattern to it. Let's stick this together. Remember, anytime that you have someone gone, I think it's gone. No, it's not. Anytime you've embossed on to your dry embossed, it's better to put your adhesive on cardstock, because it can rip the paper. So kind of just on your designer series paper, not so much on your cardstock. Put that one there. And these are cut 5.5, and then just however wide, so you fill up the piece of paper. Then this is our Pool Party ribbon out of the annual catalog, and it just has a fun water look. It did come with the whale suite a couple of years ago, the one that had the whale punch. So it was with a water suite. It's very pretty. It looks really good on wedding cards as well, but it does have a fun kind of water look to it. Not any bow. We don't want a bow on your Viking card. Well, I guess if you change it to be a princess, like if she's going to be Merida or something, you could. I'm going to just add my ship up here. And then let's put her here. I wanted to go just over the top of that one. And then let's grab some dimensionals for. And then remember, I said that I chose this because of all the little circle themes. So here are the ones that I've already colored in the pair. So they'd just be ready for them to use at camp. And that way, if they need to color a couple more, they can. So we'll put the pair one here. And then I'm going to get the little gray ones. This one, it has black, but I've used all the black ones on this one for a class. In fact, I had to use black ones on several. So I have a whole bunch of these where the black ones are missing. But these here, I think those might be the cannons. Maybe they're where they're supposed to oars or go through the little holes. I don't know what they are. Maybe they're windows. I don't know. They're just a circle. And so on my card, they're a perfect place to put more little circles. And then down here, just kind of to highlight this so it doesn't get lost, I'm going to add the white ones. So the only ones on this card, well, we wouldn't have used the black. I did color the, it's the vanilla ones that I used. So here's super cute, all those new blends, but then look, so here's this one. So before you think, oh, I'd have to write down exactly what number she did with this and what number she did with that, it's not that big of a deal because they look cute. And here's my other one where they are not the same. See, they're totally different. Her dress is different. His outfit is different. The boat's even a little bit different. And I thought I did the boat the exact same way, but obviously I did not. But they both look cute. Like if you saw this one first, you'd be, and the same person did it. I don't even remember how he did it. So don't get hung up on mixing this with that. It just opens up a whole new shade of browns and skin tones, and think of the nature and the animals, like when we do trees and the bears and the coyotes and the squirrels and the rabbits and all of the things that we do in addition to the skin tones, that we have needed more browns and some more natural colors to blend. So there you go. Be watching for them. Like I said, they're available February 1st. If you do purchase the whole entire set from me, which is the 10, I think it's around $61 maybe. It's around that price point. Then I will have a free tutorial in the download for you to get the chart that I will make for you to do the blending of the skin tones. And I'll have something a little bit like this where you can just straight up do the colors, a little one that you can keep on your desk with you, so that way you'll know which ones they are. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this little celebration with a foray into February. I'll have a couple of more of those coming back, but we are going to get all the way through that celebration catalog. Don't you worry. Everybody have a great weekend. Bye.